away all the cards he drew.
Yeah,
You know,
and there's actually no copies of it here, not even in the sideboard. So
yeah, so not a card we're going to see in this particular top 4. But yeah, on Fang's side, 3 copies of Rune Chanter's Pike to just to make all his creatures that much more threatening. Pillar of Flame, 2 main deck, and we saw how good that was at taking out opposing planeswalkers in another matchup that we had seen yesterday. And you know, he's also got 3 copies of Searing Spear. We know that there are Garruk's on William's side,
yeah,
and we saw Garruk take over games a couple times yesterday. So that's a card that Fang does not want to see on the table.
it's going to be a tough card for him to beat if it resolves. It's hard for him to get off the table. You know, he does have Searing Spear and other burn spells too to take care of it, but it is going to be a hard card for him to get off the table. And it feels like to me, you know, 2 activations.
Yeah, it might be enough.
Might be game over.
Looks like William going to 6.
They're taking at least 1 mulligan. This might be his second. We'll get confirmation on that. I don't know if he's mulligan to 5 this early in the morning, which would be a bad start to his day.
Yeah.
But at least going to 6. But as we said yesterday, the 7th card is a luxury.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, I like that. William is on the play in this match, or at least he has the option of being on the play. He is the higher seed. Interestingly, the top 4 seeded players yesterday were all knocked out of the top 8.
Wow,
So these are seeds 5 through 8, and so these guys are seeds 6 and 7 respectively. William being 6 and Fang being 7. So apparently William has mulliganed to 5. So Fang is trying to set it up so that William mulligans to 4 here.
A terrible start to a Sunday.
Yeah.
Terrible start to any day, honestly. It doesn't have to be Sunday. But this particular day, come on.
I think William's just confirming with the judge. This is just a practice game.
Yeah, fun
here,
game. This is like practice shuffling.
Practice, right.
Make sure I'm not doing anything illegal.
All right, there's the 5. Searing Spear. I saw Sever.
I saw 1 land.
Yeah. Oh, it's Overgrown Tomb there.
Spear, Sever, another Spear, and something else. And
whatever it is, they're.
How about 4 cards? That's 4
and
cards.
Fang says, "Yeah, I made the right move by making a mulligan to 4."
Yeah.
That was a good shuffle, good cut. So far, Edge Fang Ho.
Are you sure?
I think so. I think so.
Expert analysis by Joey.
I'm gonna call it. Yeah. I don't think Jund is the kind of deck that comes back as well from mulligan to 4 as some of the more aggressive decks we were talking about a little bit yesterday, I think. How do you feel about Jund's chances?
This is the kind of deck that just doesn't mulligan very well. It doesn't have any way to recoup its cards. He doesn't have anything like Underworld Connections. As we see, like an Olivia, and maybe he might have 2 lands in his hand, but he doesn't have any way to recoup
it's
cards.
Olivia, Bonfire, Garruk. There's a Thought Scour, hits Essence Scatter, Thought Scour for Fang Ho.
So it's just going to be a tough go of it. He's going to have to draw pretty close to perfect William Will to get back in this game. Not to say that's impossible, but that's what he's going to have to do.
Cycle Azorius Charm for Fang Ho. William does hit his 2nd land drop. Does he hit the 3rd?
Deathrite Shaman?
Yeah, Deathrite Shaman's not a land drop, but it's at least a play for his 3rd turn. And does it resolve?
Yeah, he's like, I kind of want to counter that.
Yeah, as odd as it is, I think I'm going to, Azorius Charm cycles and Shaman Sticks. Moorland Haunt on Fang's side of the board after last turn, and now adds Clifftop Retreat and passes back, so.
It's off to like a bit of a slow start.
Yeah, no Geist of St. Traft there, the last turn or this turn.
There's green mana for William, so his deck is trying to get online here.
Yeah, it's actually not as far behind as we know. So Mizium Mortars for the Deathrite Shaman. Shaman's gonna quickly activate, get some value. But yeah, William has only missed 1 land drop. Has, cast a spell, has gotten a Mizium Mortars from his opponent.
You saw him remove Essence Scatter. One of the better things that he can remove at this point, just because of Snapcaster Mage.
Exactly.
As we see, the 4th land off the top is a Wooden Cemetery. Now you're going to see Olivia Voldaren be put on the stack. It get Essence Scattered and move along.
Yeah, that is both Essence Scatters from Fang Ho.
William's putting up a much better fight than I expected him to.
You wouldn't know that he mulliganed from, you know, his plays of this game.
There's another card.
Board's still clear, though. And Huntmaster of the Fells from William.
Is that one okay?
Well, it's certainly not going to get Essence Scattered unless he has a Snapcaster.
And that one's not okay. So we see a Moreland Haunt and just passing the turn back. It doesn't really look like Fang has much action. So you see a Thragtusk drawn, just passing the turn back. William just really needs his 5th land. He has a Garruk Primal Hunter in his hand along with a Thragtusk. And I believe 2 copies of Bonfire of the Damned in his hand.
So Restoration Angel at the end of turn, now crashing in for 3 for Fang. And so Fang trying to mount an offense. Olivia Voldaren number 2. And this one actually resolved for William Yowell. And that's something that Fang is going to want to take care of immediately before it gets out of hand. And so far,
I guess to stop attacking. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Restoration Angel held off by Olivia Voldaren. And William passes back.
Well, now he can just represent Olivia
Sure,
shooting and
yeah.
blocking.
Exactly.
He's going to take
And
one
he's going to
shot.
shoot it.
If he does draw a land, he can actually just take it.
Shoot it again. And he did draw a
He drew
land.
over him too.
He could put it into play on tap to go to 15, steal a Restoration Angel. And yeah, Fang seems to be light on answers at this point. He did have answers for William's first several plays, though. So
If I'm William here, I actually just prefer to take the Angel instead of casting a spell. I think I may have taken it on my main phase, just so I could get in an attack with Olivia for 5.
yeah, that's what I was thinking I would have done. But there he goes, stealing that Angel.
We gotta give him magic here.
Yeah, it is. William's done an impressive job of coming back from that mulligan. Right now, he's the guy with the board presence, and it looks like Angel's coming in.
I actually do like this attack quite a bit. It does a nice job of
Dodging Azorius Charm?
Yeah, dodging
Yeah.
Azorius Charm or Snapcaster Mage on Azorius Charm, just letting Olivia stand tall.
Yeah, she is going to take over this game if Fang can't answer her, and one of the best answers and most available answers is Azorius Charm. 3 copies main. We do see 2 in the yard right now, but Snapcaster Mage always live.
Especially because Olivia is also now out of burn range, essentially. You know, it's going to take a Searing Spear plus a Pillar of Flame or something like that to be able to take care of a 5/5 flyer.
1 copy of Mizium Mortars. We've already seen it.
Olivia going hunting.
Olivia getting real big. Obviously, Mizium Mortars would not deal with Olivia on its own, but it is out of the picture for now, barring basically Snapcaster on Mizium Mortars plus Pillar plus something else.
Yeah.
Olivia's getting huge, and meanwhile, William's content to just beat Fang down with his own Angel.
The other thing here is there aren't any Supreme Verdicts over there for Fang, right?
Yeah, not at all main deck 3 in the board, but right now he is verdictless. He's without judgment.
I'm going to see a Garruk. I'm going to say Garruk Resolve.
Wow, what is Fang holding? No removal, no counter spells, no threats. I mean, it's just gotta be just lands.
There's our beach token. And then next turn, he can actually draw a whole lot of cards.
Garruk a little off screen there. We're gonna try to get him to scoot in a little bit, cozy up to that beast.
Really,
There
this
we
is
go.
really rough go of it for Fang.
Yeah,
If I told him before this match started that your opponent was going to mulligan before game 1, he would have probably taken that and been happy about it.
yeah. But unfortunately for Fang, it looks like it swung the other way. So there's a Restoration Angel for Fang. Going to present a potential blocker William has an answer in the form of ultimate price. So if Fang can somehow make that angel multicolor, not guess there's not a card that does that in the format. Okay, angel number 2 from Fang after the first one dies, and this one will get in front of the beast. Take it out.
That's just good Olivia fodder right there.
Yeah.
Because Olivia can take care of the rest.
Look at all those lands. Fang has 11 lands in play. He cast 2 Restoration Angels and still has up mana for Dissipate. Although, I imagine he does not have the Dissipate, or else he may have casted this turn.
Or he would not have paid the ultimate price.
Yeah. So it looks like Garrick makes another buddy. And looks like Moorland Haunt gives Fang a buddy of his own.
Finally does something. Hey, there's a Geisting Trap, which is looking rather unimpressive.
Yeah.
Searing Spear, you?
Yeah, Fang down to 7 here.
4, actually.
He's down to 4, okay.
Oh, okay. Missed 3 somewhere. And
Shoot your Spirit.
yeah, get 1 blocker out of the way. Can't shoot the Geist, but
Doesn't really need to.
yeah, exactly. He's in good shape right now.
I still like Olivia just sitting on defense.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
I'm a
still
big fan of this.
playing around the Snapcaster Azorius Charm. Fang
Shoot your
makes
Spear token.
yeah, Fang makes a spirit. It's immediately shot down by Olivia.
All right, you go to 1. Garrick can draw William 10 cards right now if he chose to, or he can just make another beast token.
Go for the 10 cards.
Go deep.
William's gonna Farseek here. There's got to be a burn spell in the 10 cards, right? I mean, not that he needs a burn spell necessarily, but just another angle to attack from. Right now he doesn't have the mana to cast it anyway. But he's going to do the conservative option and make a beast rather than draw 10. And Fang scoops him up. And off a mulligan to 4, William Yowell is up a game here in the semifinals versus Fang Ho and his blue, white, red mid-range deck. Very impressive start. I mean, very impressive comeback for William Yowell.
I can't. I just wow.
Yeah.
In that game, I actually just can't believe it at all. That's what occurred.
It was like William had obviously the awful start, but his mulligan at the top of his deck helped him out so much, and Fang had, I guess, a reasonable opener, which was, at least in his estimation, was keepable, and it looked, I guess it did look pretty good. He cycled Azorius Charm, he played Thought Scour, he had a couple of Essence Scatters, he had a reasonable opener, and then it just looked like he flooded out.
Yeah, it just fell apart. He didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So. Well, as these two players do sideboard, we are going to go over the trivia question for you. And Joey, I know you've written a nice one here for our viewers at home, picking your brains, so go for it.
Yeah, so as always, we give away some SCG premium access during the top 8. And during the top 4, of course, we give away 6 months of premium. It's 3 months in the quarterfinals, which we did last night, and then 6 months in the semifinals. So we're going to give away 6 months of SCG premium to a lucky winner who will tweet their correct trivia answer with the hashtag SCG premium. So all you need to do, include your answer, hashtag SCG premium, and you will be in the running. So. Pretty simple question. We do these open series quite a bit, almost every week.
Just about now. Yeah. Just about every week. Yeah.
It's a rare weekend where the SCG Open Series is not happening.
I feel like the only ones that we don't do it are like our pre-release weekends.
It's like pre-releases and Christmas or something.
That's like really it.
That's it. So, well, next week. We're going to, of course, be on the road with the Open Series.
On the road again.
I believe, Cedric, you will be one of the commentators.
That is accurate.
For that event. So the question is, which city will we be in next week? Which city is the StarCityGames.com Open Series coming to next week?
It could be anywhere in the country.
I'm not even going to tell you the date. I'm going to make you consult a calendar. What's today? What's next week? You're going to have to do some research and find it. Now, we'll give you a clue. You can find the answer somewhere starting at StarCityGames.com.
Could be anywhere.
Start peeking around. The deck database.
Could literally
be anywhere
on the website. But if you do get the answer correct of where the next Star City Games Open Series will be for next week, tweet your answer to @SCG Premium, and you will win 6 months. Correct? Six months.
Yeah.
Of premium. You get to see the finest articles. Brian Kibler, Jerry Thompson,
Patrick Chapin, Michael Flores,
BVG,
Ooh,
sometimes
Brad versus
BVT.
Jerry. Yeah, above the curve. New
Above the
video
curve.
content.
Above the curve is nice.
It's above the curve.
I'm a big fan of that show. You'll get to be able to watch that show too.
Yeah.
Glenn, Brad, and Jerry. I really love that show. Actually, both episodes have been fantastic. So
I haven't seen part 2 yet. It came out on Friday. I wasn't able to watch it because I was traveling, and haven't gotten
I
to see
showed
it,
the
but
dedication.
I,
I watched it in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See.
It streamed very slowly.
Yeah.
On the flight
That's
internet,
one of the
but-
reasons I didn't want to.
But I suffered through it anyway. It took me like an hour to watch it, but I watched it.
It's like what, 15 minutes long?
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes long, and it doesn't. The internet does not stream stuff very well when you're in the air on an airplane. But
Sure.
I made it through.
So let's look at these guys' sideboards because that's what they're doing. Or that's what they've just finished doing. Fang trying to maybe actually make his opponent do something.
Yeah, Fang's basically saying this game I'm actually gonna do stuff.
Yeah, put his opponent on some on having some answers to his guys besides just Olivia steal your guys and then bash you to death. So on Fang's side, we've got 3 copies of Supreme Verdict, which is a viable 1-for-1 answer to Olivia if you miss the counter spell on the way down, as he did in that game on the second Olivia. Supreme Verdict is one way to deal with it. 3 copies there. He's got 2 copies of Detention Sphere, also do a great job of that. Taking care of Garrick's as well. Imagine those come in. He's got an additional Mizium Mortars, which he could bring in, just more removal for those creatures. 1 negate. I don't know that he wants that, but it's there are quite a few targets.
There are a lot of targets here,
So
and again, Garrick is a big deal.
Sure. So yeah, I could see him bringing in the negate as well. On the other side, how's William Yowell's board looking?
Well, if I'm William, I have a 3rd Olivia Holderian on my sideboard, and seeing how good it was last game, I'm probably gonna bring that in.
He should play 2.
Yeah, just play a
second
2 at
one.
a time, see if he
why
can
not?
win.
Yeah.
Thundermaw Hellkite, also a good place to be here. 5/5 haste flyer, rather good. Difficult for Fang to be able to kill as well. 2 Liliana Veil, I like those in this particular matchup. Slaughter Games, not so much. The rest of the cards, Duress is actually pretty reasonable because William's deck has some dudes and then all spells. And with William likely boarding in Supreme Verdict and Detention Sphere, you're probably going to want Duress. So that's the approach that I would take.
What do you think about the Rolling Temblor? I mean, it is the only Pyroclasm effect in the format. In fact, it's more like an Earthquake for 2 that flashes back. But it deals with Geist of St. Trapped. And that's a creature that William's targeted removal can't deal with. So, and it's only a 1/of. It's not as if he's going to be flooded with a bunch of Rolling Temblors that he can't.
I guess it could actually potentially be better than a Bonfire of the Damned, like because Temblor actually just does trade 1-for-1 with Geist, especially when you're on the draw. That's a way that William can lose. Is if Fang goes turn 3 Geist and William hasn't Farseeked this particular game, he's going to be behind the Geist, and Bonfire for 1 obviously isn't going to take care of it. So that's actually completely reasonable. It's a card that I overlooked, and I'm glad you brought it up. And I think it's actually something he should board in, probably for 1 of his Bonfire of the Damned or
Sure.
the Slaughter Games.
Yeah, and I think he also gains additional value in potentially hitting a Snapcaster Mage because obviously that's 2/3 of Fang's creatures is 4 Snapcaster, 4 Geist. I mean that's 2/3 of his main deck creatures. There are no creatures in the board as you saw there, so that's literally 2/3 of the creatures in the deck can be dealt with Rolling Temblor. And,
Yeah, no, I like it. I actually like it.
Again, late game.
I just overlooked it.
Gets it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can.
It's smart. Smart, Joey. Very smart.
It's it's a card. It's the Pyroclasm of the format, unfortunately for us.
It's such a bad Pyroclasm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't even hit flyers, which is just weird to me. I'm so used to just always seeing, if you need to deal 2 damage or whatever to stop a rush, you just go to Pyroclasm. Last format we had Whip Flare. but I'm always used to seeing our Pyroclasms either A, cost 2 mana, or B, hit flyers or non-flyers.
Sure.
And this one is both more expensive and doesn't hit flyers.
Yeah. It does have flashback though, so I guess it's 2 cards in 1.
That is true, as we see a Deathrite Shaman here from William. Both players did keep their opening 7.
Steam Vents, Glacial Fortress, Runechanter's Pike from Fang Ho.
Oh, there's a Slaughter Games, okay.
So William did either keep in or bring in a Slaughter Games.
Farseek time? Yep. Probably going to be a healthy Blood Crypt here.
Yeah, it goes with Overgrown Tomb. Had a glare on it. I thought I saw some red. That foily land.
We will find out exactly what Cavern has named here for William. He's got the choice between Vampire for... So our director says Vampire blah.
Blah.
Olivia being one of the most important cards in William's deck in this matchup makes perfect sense.
Deathrite Shaman being unable to activate here because of all tapped lands, decides to come over and hit Fang Ho with that skull. I think he threw it at him.
There's the Geist. So let's see if there's an answer.
Geist of Saint Traft going to present a problem if William cannot find an answer for it, and it could end this game very quickly. We've seen that happen so many times over the past year.
Yeah, as only Geist can. And William is looking at a Woodland Cemetery. He also has a Blood Crypt, a Slaughter Games in his hand. I believe there's also a Garrick Primal Hunter hanging out there as well.
You wonder, is Geist the card that William would want to Slaughter Games away? Or
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah, like it's the one card that he can't answer with spot removal. So to go with Olivia Voldaren.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing. He was probably hoping, all right, I hope he doesn't have Geist on turn 3, because if he doesn't, I'm going to Slaughter Games it. And get that part of the game taken care of.
So Geist picks up Runechanter's Pike. It is a really weak Pike, considering there are no cards in Fang's graveyard, but it still grants the first strike.
It looks like a weak Pike. You gotta be careful.
That's true. It can definitely get larger, and there's an actual angel rather than a need cards or whatever token ad that they had there for a second. So here comes the angel. Here comes the Geist. William Yowell has some decisions to make.
It's a risky block, and we're in the same position as William. We don't know what's in Fang's hand, so we don't know if he's bluffing, if he's telling the truth, if he has Azorius Charm, if he has Thought Scour, what he has over there. Or maybe he doesn't have anything at all. But it's almost too risky to block with Olivia there.
Yeah, I agree, unless you've got to back up Olivia, but even then, you're not in a great shape. I guess you do, if he does have something, and you block with Olivia, he does have something now, he doesn't have Essence Scatter mana up, so you can resolve Olivia number 2 if you have it. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it was too risky, so William agrees with us. Does not block, goes to 14, and now has a Rakdos Key Rune on his turn, which will hold back opposing Thragtusks that do not exist.
Well, what's going to happen here is he also took 2 from the Blood Crypt. Now William has a pretty good amount of options now. He can shoot something with Olivia if he needs to. He can also block with Olivia on the Geist of Saint Traft, and if there is an instant or sorcery put into the graveyard, Deathrite Shaman can remove it, leaving Geist's power down to 2 again. Assuming that it is just one spell, but it is going to be a Thought Scour here, giving it +2/+0. So actually, it wasn't a bluff at all.
So the cool thing, I was just reading Rakdos Key Rune. It doesn't say just blocks Thragtusk on it. It can also block Geist of Saint Traft.
It's going to try to. Yes, I think. The only card he has to play around well, 2 cards. Searing Spear and Azorius Charm.
Fang representing Restoration Angel to potentially save the Geist. And he's going to activate Olivia, shoot the Angel twice, and use Deathrite Shaman to remove a land from Fang's graveyard.
Building Olivia up. It's not Olivia's a 5/5, so is it safe to block the Angel? That is the question. Alternatively, it can block the Geist that is a 4/1 first striker right now. But again, there are a lot of things that can go wrong right now with this block. Azorius Charm being one, Searing Spear being the other, even a Pillar of Flame post-combat. There's a lot that can go poorly.
Fang taps and then quickly untaps 2 lands. I don't know if it was a clever bluff of Azorius Charm, or what? Okay, so he did. Olivia was declared as a blocker. I wasn't clear on that.
Gotcha.
So immediately Azorius Charm to the top of William's library.
He does take 4.
Yes.
He just pass it back. So a little game inside the game, a little gamesmanship.
Yeah, I was suspecting maybe William didn't declare Olivia as a blocker yet, and Fang like tapped 2 lands to maybe bluff an Azorius Charm and make William think again about blocking.
Sure.
But apparently William had declared Olivia as a blocker, and Fang did not have to bluff the Azorius Charm because he actually had it.
All right, so we're gonna see Olivia again. It looks like.
Man, top decked Olivia, how lucky!
So lucky, so unbelievably lucky. Olivia just having a really hard time because of the Rune Chanter's Pike of really asserting itself in this game.
Blood Crypt again coming into play, untapped. Pretty much the same plan as last turn, same same resulting board state. It's just this time it wasn't 3 for a Key Rune, it was 4 for an Olivia.
And William had to take 2 again for the Blood Crypt, which
Yeah.
is pretty rough, putting himself down to 5. As great as the Ravnico dual lands are, we're going to see a Mizzium Mortars here, which is a pretty big backbreaker.
Yeah, Mizzium Mortars resolves, and Olivia goes to the yard. William left with... Fang's going to read the Key Rune because he wants to know exactly what is in William's range.
I know you know what that does.
Yes, it is a 3/1 first striker when activated.
We're going to play Faith Shield. Faith Shield before blocks to give Geist of St. Traft pro black or red.
Right.
Definitely pro black, so they can get through Deathrite Shaman and the Key Rune.
Yeah.
And finish it off.
So William unable to block the Geist, unable to block the Angel because it was in the air, and Fang Ho takes game 2 fairly quickly. William able to mount something of a defense, but not enough. So
Olivia could never get started that game. It was kind of unusual that it had so much trouble just getting online. But between Azorius Charm and Searing Spear and the other things that deck can do, it does make it a little bit more difficult. It doesn't take over a game every time like it did game 1.
sure, yeah. I mean, when unopposed, it's pretty impressive. But because game 1, Fang just could not deal with it. I guess that's kind of what happens with these legendary creatures that we see in Standard. We have Geist of St. Traft, we have Olivia Voldarn, both of them. If you can't put something in front of Geist or somehow otherwise, deal with it, and the same goes for Olivia, like they're just going to take over a game really quickly.
I think that's something you kind of expect, like just from like a flavor standpoint of a legendary creature.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with me, you lose. Basically, that's what Olivia and Geist both do. We saw it in game 1. Olivia took it down by itself, and that game Geist had a little bit of help with some spells, but mostly did it on its own.
Yeah, they're like one tick shy of being planeswalkers, right? Not quite planeswalkers, but they still are legends.
They're pretty darn close, you ask me.
Yeah, so what kind of changes do you expect? Do you think... I don't know that there's too much you want to change. Yes, that's right. Some legends become planeswalkers.
That's
right.
true.
Karn, Silver Golem being
Venser.
Venser
Shaper
being
Savant.
That's right.
One of my favorite cards in Magic history, even though I hate blue cards.
Actually, I think prefer the creature to the Planeswalker version.
By quite a bit.
Yeah.
A healthy margin.
Yeah.
Actually.
I like the Planeswalker, but it just is not...
There are
not
few
as
cards as nice as Venture Shaper Savant,
Yeah.
especially with Riptide Laboratory.
Love that card. Love that interaction, too.
As far as potential changes, I mean, I didn't see either play Reach for their sideboard, and that doesn't really surprise me because I don't think I would change too much. I'm a little surprised the Slaughter Games got left in. I understand it, I guess. He wants to try to take care of Geist. But I just don't love that plan. Like, that game, he had Slaughter Games, but...
It's a turn behind the Geist, yeah.
Yeah, Fang had Geist, and then it's like, ugh, what am I going to do with the Slaughter Games now? I can't even cast it because I'm under the gun and I'm being attacked by a 4/4 and 2/2. I don't have time to cast this card.
Yeah, right. Even on the play, William is likely going to have that Slaughter Games a turn behind the Geist.
Yeah, he's super reliant on having the Farseek and the Slaughter Games draw.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that that's going to happen.
And he has to hope that his opponent doesn't draw and have the turn 3 Geist.
Yeah.
some combination there.
So I don't expect a lot to change. I'm interested to see how this game goes because now William's on the draw and looking to hopefully keep 7 cards and see exactly how the game. And it should be a back and forth affair of a lot of creatures dying and then one creature or Moorland Haunt plus Runechanter Spike taking over. So we'll see exactly how it goes. I mean, it could just be another Olivia game. It could be just another Geist Sustained Draft game. But I expect this one to be a little bit more grindy.
At least game 2 was a little more of a game than game 1.
Oh, absolutely.
One card that I'm noticing just in William's sideboard that's kind of caught my attention, not because it's in his sideboard, but because it's not in Fang's deck, is Thunderball Hellkite. That was one that was kind of picking up in popularity. It still, I think, is picking up in some popularity, but it was showing up in these blue-white-red mid-range decks. In fact, there are 2 in Darren Menard's blue-white-red mid-range deck in the other. At the other table, actually, I think right next to Fang Ho.
Yeah, it's a card that traditionally there's traditionally 2 copies of it now in the blue, white, red mid-range decks, and I am a little surprised with you to see that it's not in here, but I think that Fang's deck is a little bit different, like a different take on blue, white, red mid-range.
Yeah, it's basically, it looks like instead of Hellkites, he's got 2 Sphinx's Revelation. Like, I'm just comparing his list to Darren's, just because Darren's is right in front of me. Darren playing 3 copies of Jace Architect of Thought, which, no sign of that. No sign of any Planeswalkers in Fang's list. So both players with a different take on the blue, white, red mid-range. Now, yeah, I was gonna say the 4th deck in the top 4 is
just
blue, white,
flash.
Flash. Yeah.
I will never call it Prozac Control.
No.
Don't make me do that, please.
I was doing it last night when you weren't here. So. I did not, however, say who designed Prozac Control. That's the trivia question from last night. I did call it Blue White Flash then. So.
As we see, both players do keep their 7. William is going to start off with a foil Overgrown Tomb, and we are underway for game 3.
Blood Crypt into play tap for William.
It's got the pretty Ravnica lands, both new and foil.
Yeah, see, we're at odds as far as that goes. I like non-foils better than foils. And I like old art better than new art. At least in this case. I like just whichever art I prefer.
Sure.
Like it's not like a old or new thing.
Alright, there's the Geist.
Turn 3 Geist from Fang Ho.
Oh no, he just drew. Okay, so he does have the rolling tomb.
Okay.
And he just drew Slaughter Games this turn too.
Yeah.
But no 4th land. Another Geist?
Oh,
boy.
Geist number 2.
And no 4th land over there. Alright.
Well, we're stuck in turn 3 land for both of these players, although there's a 4th land for William Yowell, and he's going to have Olivia Voldarn, so it's legend on legend now.
We were doing it again.
Yes, we are. We saw the legend battles last game, and here it is again. The 2 premier legends of the format, Geist of St. Traft versus Olivia Voldarn, and Geist is coming over, no fear.
That little bit of hesitation by Fang. I don't know if you saw it. He went to attack, then he thought about it for a minute, and then he attacked again. I like the block here a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Azorius Charm puts Olivia on top, forcing William to recast it and saving his Geist, getting in for 4.
He's just going to replay Olivia. He took his 4 and he says, all right, let's do this again.
Yeah, it doesn't even go through the motions of untapping.
Yeah.
He just says,
he's like, this is what I got.
This is what I'm doing. And does Fang have land Snapcaster Azorius Charm or just Azorius Charm? No.
The brakes are on.
Yeah. Geist is a little scared.
And here's the 5th land for William, which is another Woodland Cemetery.
I think, are we going to see a potential... Okay, there's a Thragtusk to the front for William. I was going to say it's either Garruk or Thragtusk here, I think.
Ye old Swag Tusk.
He looks like he's putting Fang on Essence Scatter over Dissipate or Negate here. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and go with the Garruk and make Fang have either the Negate or the Dissipate. Rewind, not going to help here. Syncopate, not even in the 75. So Garruk resolves, brings a buddy, and the ground is gummed up for that Geist of St. Traft to try to get through. And Olivia, presenting a pretty major threat in the air, still doesn't attack, but You know, I wonder. I may have attacked with Olivia there because I think if Fang had the Azorius Drum, he would have made the same attack again last turn. What do you think?
I actually love the no attack here for one main reason. If he doesn't, if he attacks, he's opening himself up. He's opening his Garrick up to dying.
Sure. Okay. He
So-
just wants to protect Garrick.
Yeah. So
okay.
if Fang's line of play is, you know, I have a Supreme Verdict in my hand, I could, you know, attack with Geist, have my Angel token go into Garrick,
Okay.
and then Supreme Verdict and kill everything. And we can kind of at least sort of restart, even though William has the initiative and the cards in his hand. But at least it takes care of the problems that are on the board.
Sure. Actually, I like that. That makes a lot more sense.
So now we're going to see, we're going to see Geist go over that way.
Rune Chanter's Pike helps the Geist trade with the Olivia. Garrick gets taken out by the Angel, and the board is clear except for a Beast and a Rune Chanter's Pike on opposing sides of the board. Beast is able to attack. Rune Chanter's Pike not. Advantage William Yowell.
Not a good blocker, Rune Chanter's Pike.
Yeah, also can't block. Says it right on there. Rune Chanter's Pike can't block.
We see a Slaughter Games.
And is William Yowell going to go for Geists or Restoration Angels? It looks like Angel.
Angel. Now, me personally, I don't love casting Slaughter Games this turn. I understand that the window is open, the shields are down, as it were, but he has a Geist and a Thragtusk he can cast, and with no counters being available to Fang because he was tapped out, I would have preferred to resolve one of my 5-mana threats that turn.
Which Geist are you referring to that he had to cast?
Say that again?
You said, I thought you said William had Geist and a Thragtusk
Garrick.
to cast. A Garrick is what you meant, okay. On Fang's side, you can see his hand is two, actually, I'm sorry, is it two pillars there?
2 pillars.
2 pillars. I almost thought it was Mizium Mortars, that's all. So, yeah, 2 pillars, Essence Scatter, and Snapcaster, Geist of St. Traft. So the third Geist there in Fang's hand.
Yeah, Geist heavy draw.
Unfortunately for him, there's a Beast over there to get in the way, but so he's going to have to go, basically, if he wants that Geist to do anything, it's going to be Geist equipped Pike, which I guess is that's the plan anyway. But in the meantime, William's going to have time to likely resolve Garrick or Thragtusk. Fang needs land to even play Geist and hold up Essence Scatter mana. And if he holds up Essence Scatter mana, William's going to cast
Hey, he's like,
Garrick.
I'll just cast Garrick. It's
Right.
fine. I'll just resolve my awesome Planeswalker to crush you with instead.
Which is actually probably worse news than a Thragtusk.
Yeah, in this matchup, 100%.
Yeah. Fang just says, I'll just leave my hand there rather than making you write it down.
Here's what I got. Can you beat it? And William's looking at his hand and he's saying, I think I can.
Yeah, so passes back after attacking with the Beast. Fang finds that land. So now, here comes Geist. Essence Scatter mana up. Garrick gonna come down for William Yowell.
Yeah, for
What are,
sure.
what are the Vegas odds on Garrick coming down this? Finds a land, says William Yowell. Can play it. I guess I just. What does he got? Thragtusk, Garrick, Bonfire. So play the land tapped, play Garrick, make
Bonfire
a
it
Beast.
too. Yeah, he can just bonfire
Oh,
for 2.
well, okay, yeah, just deal with the Geist now. Well, I guess those odds were bad.
Vegas odds were bad for you.
Yeah. I thought the Garrick was coming down. Then again, I didn't know he had the Bonfire.
Yeah,
So I didn't even
bonfire
consider
in
it.
hand, Rolling Trembler in the graveyard, but he doesn't have the second red to flash it back. He just wants to get that thing off the table.
Well, he's dealt with 3 Geists of St. Traft, so he's got to be feeling pretty good. Table clear besides the Rune Chanter's Pike. It does absolutely nothing with nothing to pick it up.
And Restoration Angels are out of the game as well.
Yeah. So that's basically Fang's route to victory is Snapcaster Mage and Geist of St. Traft number 4.
Yeah.
Or just doming William with burn spells. None of these extremely appealing. I guess the Geist is the most appealing of the set, but he does actually have a Snapcaster, so
He could pike up this turn. There's some pillar upstairs. Gonna try to race.
I think that was yeah, okay, so yeah, he was using the pillar just to also boost the Pike.
Yep.
And Snapcaster picks up the Pike. Both players at 10. William's gonna
There's a creature in his hand that doesn't really care about all that damage. Oh, but he's not casting Thragtusk. I thought for sure Thragtusk was going to join us this turn. Oh, there's Essence Scatter. Never mind. Never mind. We know about Essence Scatter in his
Yeah,
hand.
and so does William. So
I
Garrick
take that
comes down.
back.
Garrick makes a beast. Both stay back. Fang plays something. It looks like a Thought Scour. Put 2 lands into the yard. Draws. Not quite sure exactly how big that that pike is.
Looks like it's a +3 or +4.
Yeah, we know that there's a Thought Scour. We know there's a Pillar. We know there's an Azorius Charm. That's the 3 that we know of. Otherwise, graveyard's pretty much off screen.
Graveyard contains a lot of Geist-Sustained traps.
Yeah, which do not boost pikes. Unless they're wearing them. Holding them, I guess.
Alright.
There's that second pillar, gonna knock Garrick down to 2. Loyalty.
He's like, alright, I can come across, and we're just going to see a chump block. And I like the chump block quite a bit. The goal is just to keep his life total as high as he can. Let Garrick take over. Let his draw steps take over.
Double Thragtusk in his hand, and that Runechanter's Pike is a +3/+0.
Perfect.
Also grants first strike, so Snapcaster able to deal handily with that beast that blocked it, and still survive.
Some Thragtusk, it goes right to the
And
graveyard.
It is beast attack time.
So now in the bin for the Runechanter's Pike is an Azorius Charm, 2 Pillar of Flames, a Thought Scour, and an Essence Scatter. So +5. Making Snapcaster a 7/1.
So now, of Fang's hand, Essence Scatter gone, Pillar gone, Pillar gone. What else? I can't remember that. What else he had? I think was it just Snapcaster Restoration Angel?
Yeah.
So
The 2 cards he
Restoration Angel
has-
obviously gone.
Yeah, the 2 cards he has are Mystery.
William
Gonna
taps
count.
5, plays Thragtusk. Do we have Snapcaster Essence
Snapcaster?
Scatter?
Oof. Oh boy.
That is going to make it
Kirun.
rough. Oh, Kirun will help.
Make a beast. He has to hold back now a little bit. And the game is taking an interesting direction. A game that I thought William was going to probably win pretty easily. Fang's draw steps are really helping him out right now.
Yeah, Fang wants to play Elspeth and jump that Snapcaster. I need to fly over these beasts.
Hiya!
Well, in comes the Snapcaster with the pike. Beast gets in front. Garrick, basically it's just Garrick +1 as a better version of Force Field, I
Yeah.
think, happening right now.
Force field with the ability to potentially draw cards.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Cedric Phillips, and we're coming to you guys live from Dallas-Fort Worth, where we are in Game 3 of the semifinals between William Yowell and his Jund midrange deck and Fang Ho with his blue-white-red midrange deck. William wins Game 1 on a mulligan to 4. Fang takes Game 2 on a quick Geist of Saint Traft action there, and it looks like William Yowell's about to take Game 3.
William's looking to take Game 3 now.
Off of some stalling and a Miracle Bonfire. With some help from a Planeswalker pal.
What a beating.
Board state right now, Fang Ho at 5 life has 2 Snapcasters, 1 enchanted with not enchanted, but equipped with Runechanter's Pike. William, for his side of the board, has a Beast, a Garrick on 4 loyalty, and an Azorius Key. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Azorius.
You do?
Rakdos Key
You're
Rune.
such a big fan of Rakdos Kirun, too.
I am. It must be the Azorius in me just calling everything that's good Azorius. It must be that. And William flips a Bonfire off the top and is currently casting it for 1, which, you know, seems pretty strange.
2.
Was it for 2? I'm sorry, for 2.
Yeah.
For 2, you're right. for 2, which seems pretty strange, but playing around counter spells and able to, able to take out both of Fang's threats. Fang tries to recover with a Sphinx's Revelation for 4, draws 4 cards, gains 4 life. But right now we know Fang is almost out of threats in his entire deck. He's got 1 Geist of St. Trapp left in the deck, 2 Snapcasters left in the deck. That's it as far as creatures.
Yep, and then
He's got 3 guys left in the deck.
And then 2 Moreland Haunts to work with, and that's about it.
Sure. Runechanter's Pike gonna make it a little more of a realistic proposition here with if he can find a Moreland Haunt. We do see he did find one at some point off a Thought Scour.
Yeah,
Knocked
poor
it into
place
the
for it to
yard.
be.
Yeah. Plays 2 main, so he needs to find that other copy of Moreland Haunt, or a Geist, or a Snapcaster to pick up that Pike. He's in dire straits, and I don't think he's got an answer considering how long this is taking. I don't know that he has a great way to survive long enough to find anything.
He is in a very, very difficult spot right now, without question.
Yeah, no blockers. His opponent can present 9 power at... Yeah, William's just going to swing in with 2 beasts.
Could have activated Rakdos Keyrune to get in.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't.
But the card in his hand kind of reveals why he didn't do that, which is he drew Olivia Voldaren for the draw step.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Which I didn't see either. So it makes much more sense to me now. We see a Faith Shield.
Faith Shield.
Give myself pro green, thank you.
And now Fang cannot be blocked by those beasts. Unfortunately, Fang can't attack. Beast number 3, and
oh,
tap
okay,
4.
okay.
Oh,
I was wondering if he was going to cast it. He's got a great board state. He doesn't need to walk Olivia into Supreme Verdict.
Sure, and that's what he thought about right there. Now Fang probably knows that there's an Olivia there. Not sure what Fang's plan is here. Here comes all the beasts. Searing Spear times 2. Whew. And Fang's going to drop to 1 here. Thragtusk is going to come down for William's going to get dissipated. Fang is holding on for dear life, somehow surviving through this onslaught of beasts. I'm sorry, legion of beasts. I'm sorry, scourge of beasts.
Garrick is going to draw 3. We're going to see a Deathrite Shaman. So now not only does he need to take care of the beast, we're going to see a Mizium Mortars now with
Overload.
Kick. With Overload, excuse me, not Kicker. And Fang is saying, are you ever going to activate that Keyrune to kill me? Here it is.
Here we go.
All right, here I come.
Rakdos Keyrune for the win. And Jund advances to the finals, piloted by William Yowell, the lone non-blue deck.